Hello everyone, I wanted to give you a quick flip through of the Spectrum Vocabulary Grade 5. My daughter used Wordly-Wise last year along with a couple of other things, and so we decided to change this year to Spectrum. She's also gone through Evan Moore vocabulary as well. So when you open up the Spectrum workbook, it just simply talks about what its purpose is, readiness, skills and standards, testing, enrichment, application, and then used for summer learning. So these are different ways that Spectrum can help support you and your child's learning. In the table of contents, this goes over the skills that are practiced. So we have classification, synonyms, antonyms, homonyms, context clues, concept words, sensory words, plurals, suffixes, prefixes, root and base words, imported words, abbreviations, compound words, and then you have your vocabulary answer key. In the back of this book, there are also test-taking practice pages, which I think is really nice. You get introduction to test-taking practice, then you have tips, vocabulary, reading comprehension, you get your answers, and then the student answer sheets as well. The first few pages, my daughter already started working through this, so I'm going to skip them, but it is classification. And in classification, it does a lot of which one of these does not fit within this group. It also does a lot of analogies. And I say a lot, there's only a few pages. She's on page number 10, and this starts on page 4. So there are approximately 6 pages that go over analogies and classification. Then you get into your synonyms portion. If you'll notice, this is not lined out like other Spectrum and even Evan Moore curriculum, in that it does not have a week 1, day 1. It does not tell you what to do, how to do it, any order of any kind. You simply do it based off of how you want to do it. That's it. I've just been having my daughter do 1 page a day, which is very simple. It gives her different activities. So now she's going into synonyms. She'll start that on Monday, but it's giving her synonym practice, and it'll go through and just do various things on synonyms. Then it moves into antonyms. And so each of the pages is just kind of just random little words. There's no vocabulary list to kind of see what types of words they're focusing on. You're just going to have to go through and flip and see what's here and what's available. Then you have your context clues. This one says write the letter of the best meaning of the underlined word on the line before the sentence. So your underlined word is bed. So you can kind of flip through the pages and see what words they're focusing on, but it's giving you this in context clues is going to tell you how to use it in a sentence, which is really good application for it. There's quite a few pages on context clues, and then you go into concept words. For here, it says write the state for each capital, use the map to help. I do like this. She is going to have to do a little geography work, which is awesome to have. I mean, 2 birds, 1 stone. So I kind of like that. Over here, this is doing Greek and Roman mythology. So we're using Greek and Roman words, more concept words. And then sensory words. Can you hear that? It says rewrite each sentence using at least 2 sensory words. So taste, smell, things like that. I'll go back to the answer book at the back of the book and show you guys. Then it works on plurals. So I thought this was interesting. It goes over onomatopoeias. Here, she would have to do slop, and she'd have to do an onomatopoeia for that. So onomatopoeia is a word that sounds like the sound it describes. So thump, thud, all those. It has murmur, fizz, knock. And what she'll have to do is she'll have to read each onomatopoeia word, write a sentence describing the cause of the noise. So what caused slop? You could say spaghetti into a bowl would cause slop. Or your child talking back to you would be a murmur. Something like that. Let's move on to plurals, different forms of plurals. It's talking about adding S and ES. Prefixes and suffixes. So as I said, there's no word list. Reading the passage, and then here it says write the bold-faced words beside their meanings below. Circle the suffix in each word. So here are all the bold words within here. More on prefixes. So it fluctuates between prefixes and suffixes. Root and base words. And then you start to get into your answer key. Now, if you'll notice, there are only about 80 pages of work for the vocabulary section. If we're starting on page 80, on page number 4. So they're about 78 pages of work. That's it. So this is not like a 30-week curriculum where it's going to take you all the way through the school year. You're just simply doing this just to reinforce vocabulary and work on those different areas. Then you get back here and it has all of the answer keys for each of the vocabulary pages, and it just has it listed by page. And as you keep going, then you get into your test taking skills. I believe starts right here. So it says the test taking practice is designed to prepare you to use the vocabulary skills you've been practicing in the first part of the book on a standardized test. So that means that pretty much they're going to test you on words that you've gone over within the curriculum to help you understand how to take a standardized test. It gives you before the test day tips, during the test tips, and then it gives you instructions that when you reach the stop sign, obviously you are to stop. So this could be one day of test, the next day. There's a stop sign at the end of all of these pages. So your child will just go through and do the test on one day, and then they would do the test the next day. This one is a little bit longer. This is a full vocabulary test. So it's like 3 pages. It also has where you read a paragraph and answer the questions there. And then you go to another one that's about 3 or 4 pages. And then you get into the reading comprehension. So there's a short passage and then your child would answer the questions. Another passage and answer questions. And this is all one section. So it's kind of getting a little lengthier. And I think that's the help with test prep, because when you have standardized tests, it's not just one passage and answer the questions and you're done. So that's good. It says, how did we get our alphabet? This is another reading comprehension, and then you'll keep going all the way through reading comprehension until you get to the end. You have your answer key for all of the test practice, and when you go a little bit further, here are the test taking student answer sheets, so they'll know how to fill in the bubbles for any standardized test that they may be taking, and then additional pages for notes.